A couple looking to get some kicks in the bedroom ended their romantic evening in the emergency room after a kinky game went drastically wrong. Michael and Josie from Clarksville, Tennessee decided to spice things up by melting a 5-pound gummy bear on each other's bodies.
Jesus.
5 pounds?
Yeah. However, the searingly hot, sugary liquid left Josie with third-degree burns on her chest.
How could you not see that would happen?
And in agonizing pain. They're idiots.
A regular gummy bear would hurt. 5 pounds?
The situation was made by even more excruciating. It was made even more excruciating by the fact that Josie decided to call her mother for advice.
You know what? Just bring an actual bear into the bedroom and set it on fire.
For Michael, who had yet to meet her mother back in 2011, it was a particularly shameful moment. Michael said,
"Tell you,
when you're in that moment, you don't think." Despite
Mom, you know how you and Dad would melt 5-pound gummy bears on each other's chests? Well, we did it too.
Despite the failed attempt at romance, the couple remained together 3 years later, and they are engaged.
I bet she has lingering scars from that, right? You don't get third-degree burns.
Third-degree.
Yeah.
Permanent. Yeah, so I'm sure she's got that. Nick actually has a video playing on our monitor right now. It was from last night's Phil's game, and right at the very end, it's fans' reaction to the grand slam that ended the game. And it's a slow motion, and you've got to see this if you haven't seen it yet. It just shows how in the throes of sports, things can go from vibrant and exciting to an absolute deflation in one swing of the bat.
The nature of sports, right?
It happens. But nonetheless, it's the drama of sports, but it's a pretty wild video, and Nick has put that up on PrestonandSteve.com. And it's a long season, so, hey, you never know. We are going to welcome our friend, the voice of the Phillies. When you go to the game, you know it well. Mr. Dan Baker is here.
Hey. Now batting for the Phillies, number 26, second baseman Chase Utley.
Yeah.
Well done,
Wow. That's
well done.
how you do it, folks. How have you been, Dan?
Great.
Excellent.
Would you allow me the honor of wishing my sister Sandy a happy birthday?
Please.
Sandy Ward of Mullica Hill, New Jersey, celebrates her 60th today, the Big 6-0.
Big 6-0. Wow.
Anything special planned for the 60th birthday?
Mail to interview?
We'll be doing something, but this is a busy week for all of us, so don't know just what yet. But she's a special lady, and she's graced our lives now for 60 years.
That's
Sandy
beautiful.
Ward.
Hey, Dan, I've not made it down to spring training before. It's something that's on the list if we can ever find time off to go down there and do that. You travel down there, don't you?
Yes,
okay.
But in a non-working capacity.
Oh, no kidding.
I go down every year for a couple of weeks. I've been going down for about 40 years.
Wow. Do you and the other stadium announcers know each other? Do you have friends across the country?
I know a couple of them. But,
okay. I wasn't sure if it was a tight-knit community.
No, it is not.
Okay.
They're all losers, aren't they?
There's a lot of great... Matt Cord, I know the other PA announcers in Philadelphia.
In the other sports, yes.
Of course, yeah.
So because you're working, obviously, all season long, do you have an opportunity to go to games in other cities? Obviously, if you're not working in Philadelphia, you're going to be free to go to, let's say, a game at Wrigley or something.
Well, I do a lot of promotions surrounding Phillies away telecasts with at Chickies and Pete's, and so they work pretty well.
Okay.
And I do a bunch of those, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay. When it comes to football, I'm always interested to see how they do it in other stadiums. And, I've had the opportunity to see some football games, in San Francisco, in New York. And I really enjoyed. I went to a Broncos-Patriots game last year. It was when Peyton Manning had just gotten back, so it was Peyton versus Tom Brady. So I was there. I didn't have a horse in the race, so to speak. So I just went there, and it was interesting to see how they do their games. And their announcers and how they get the crowd all riled up and everything.
Are there like trade secrets? I mean, in other words, will someone go out and check out perhaps something that they're doing at another stadium or another team does that you can incorporate here? Is there a sharing of ideas, or are everyone very covetous of how they approach presentation?
Really, Steve. It's a very loose affiliation, and we kind of each worry about our own situation.
Right.
And we've had some great direction at not only at Citizens Bank Park for Phillies baseball games, but at Lincoln Financial Field for Eagles football games.
I would love to get my hands on the Eagles football games, to tell you the truth. I feel like they could do a couple of things a little bit differently.
Like what would you do differently?
Well, you know what I like that Patriots do is they have this huge like foghorn that goes off every single time there's a third down, and so they do this big foghorn. And yep. I wouldn't do a foghorn. I would do something like maybe like an eagle screech or something like that. And then they would like third down, and they make these announcements where the crowd finishes the announcement for the announcer. Just a couple
when
of
it's
things.
third and long, I'll try to give it to third and 8.
Yes,
I
love it.
Do you practice? Will you practice? As you're heading into the stadium, you go, I'm going to try out a new third tonight. In other words, does it get that?
No, I just react.
I'm going to bellow differently tonight.
I try to emulate you guys. I love the way you're so spontaneous. That's the way I try to be.
You roll with it?
The Phillies and the Eagles.
Mind you, I would not change a thing you do. It's all the other accompanying sounds, music, movie clips, or whatever. But no, I love the energy that you bring. Eagles, first down. I love it. I love all that stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're great, and they're all dead weight. Yeah. That's basically
we have a great
Shake
team
them off.
Shake them off.
No. All right, well, listen, we're here to talk about a couple of things. One of them happens to be the Homers for Hope Home Run Derby. It's an event that's coming up in June, and you brought with you John Durso from Homers for Hope. How you doing, John?
Hey, guys, thanks for having us on the Babatu, Dabatu, Bababadu, Gaga, Bop It Up.
Oh, my God.
I really appreciate it.
Holy. Talking about practice, man.
No, on the way in.
On the way in.
Well, it was either that or the thing where the guy is screaming really loud, but I couldn't remember all those words.
Which one? Let's do this together, all right? Hey, everybody, it's good to have you on the Babatu, Dabatu, Bababadu, Gaga, Bop It Up. That's pretty damn
Yeah.
That's
close enough.
Nice.
Listen, just learning it in the car on the way over, that's pretty good.
Very impressive.
I said something like that in the top of the 9th inning last night.
That's right.
John, tell us about the event.
Well, guys, it's a home run derby at Campbell's Field on June 7th. We are raising money for local families who have had some kind of tragedy. So right now, the big family we have that we're trying to help, they are about to be evicted at the end of the month. This is a single father who has lost his job. His son is about 12 years old, has a heart condition. He has to decide whether to pay for food, electric bill, rent, or medicine for the kid. Wow. There are way too many stories like this around the Delaware Valley, and we're one of the organizations that steps up to help them. In the last 4 years, thanks to your support, your listeners, and everybody else in the organization, we've paid over $35,000 worth of regular, everyday household bills for families who are just like everybody listening right now, and something happened to them.
I did a charity for, as part of, I should say, a charity for someone local. Had the same sort of situation. They just found themselves they were about to be evicted. And, it gets so desperate. So something like this is awesome. And it's also attached to something that's pretty damn fun.
Yeah, but my friends, we how are we going to marry something like one of our hobbies with doing something good for the community? And we came up with this. So we do a softball home run derby, co-ed, baseball home run derby. And anybody listening who doesn't think they can hit a home run, bring out the most illegal bat you possibly have. All the softball players right now are going, man, I've got this $300 illegal bat that can hit a ball 400 feet and I can't use it. You can use it with us.
Right.
Wow. Wow, that's great. And how many people can sign up for this event, by the way?
Well, for Overflow, we have preliminary events, too. So really, just to be involved, donation of $100 will get you involved. We're going to have a preliminary event in May to kind of whittle the numbers down to a championship, which will be on June 7th at Campbell's Field. Yep. And if you make it to the championship, you will be able to have your name read by the wonderful, amazing Dan Baker.
Hey, do you get some regulars that show up for this event that want to try and take it, that haven't or have been past champions?
Yeah. We have one guy who's come. He won the first two, and then he sat out the third year. Then we have another fella who has come year after year after year. And this guy, his name's Mike Harris. He's actually on the DL this year, which is personally disappointing for me because he has hit 20, I think one round last year, he scored 22 points, which is when you hit it over the short fence, which is only about 250 feet away, you get 1 point. Over the major fences, too, he scored 22 points in one round. He hit 3 out into the parking lot in the street behind the center field fence.
How many yards is that?
Oh, my God.
It's 340 or something to send. I mean, I don't know.
340.
Dan is trying to announce it, and Harris had 4 balls in the air at once. We're like, well, you got to, slow down here. It's really exciting. It's really exciting. Wow. And for amateurs, and you can bring your kids and go on the field and shag flies in there. Steve, you can bring little Stevie out there. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Little Steven, absolutely. I'll bring all my daughters too.
Is this on a game day or is it the parks? Okay, so this is what is going on at Campbell's Field.
We got it the whole day. We actually have a fall baseball team that benefited our gentleman that came with us today, volunteer firefighter, is 24 years old, was in a car accident, lost his leg, and now his whole world was upside down. So last fall, we put together a baseball team of adults to raise money for him, just helping him pay his everyday bills. So the morning that day, we're going to have a tryout for anybody who wants to come play on an actual baseball team this fall to help raise money for other families like that as well. So we got a whole day planned, but it's all on the website, homersforhope.org.
And Campbell's is an awesome field. It's a blast. Just walking around it. It's real deal.
Carnival atmosphere, but I mean the quality of the field. If you go to Florida and like Arizona are really the only places you can go in this country to find a field of this quality.
Right.
Hey, John, by the way, since you have that preliminary event coming up in May, what's the deadline for people to get signed up for this?
Well, honestly, the Friday night before, we're pretty efficient with our, even though we're all volunteer, we're pretty efficient with the way we work. So all they got to do is go to the website, email me at homersforhope@gmail.com. And we'll do everything we can to have you help us out.
And it also says if you continue to raise money and hit the $500 level, then you may skip the preliminary event, should you choose, and advance directly to the championship.
That's right. It's all about raising money.
Raising the money. I like that. I think that's good. I mean, people will pay tons of money for great seats at a sporting event. How about paying a ton of money to do some good and you get some sort of consideration? And
somebody's robot is talking.
Dan, did you not silence your phone, Mr. Baker?
Oh, my God.
Is it your sister?
I apologize. They wanted to let us know that they're finished melting down the gummy bears.
The 5-pound gummy bears
that he uses for sexual pleasure.
We're creating a new category for Homers for Hope this year.
Yeah.
All right.
Dan, how come your ringtone is not you announcing yourself?
I know. That'd be perfect.
Well, what is it? Is it homersforhope.com?
Homersforhope.org, and we're on Facebook and Twitter. Please, hook us up or like us or whatever the term is on Facebook, because we do a lot of our information that way.
Excellent.
And we'll put that information on. We'll link that off of our website to make it easy for the Preston and Steve listeners. Now, Dan, you also wanted to mention there is a Jackie Robinson special that's going on with the Phillies.
On this date in 1947, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball, and of course, it's such an important date in American history. I think baseball has led the way for integration in America, and
it's amazing. I mean, to think about all that time has lapsed, but it was what a pivotal point that was. The only thing I think that can rival it would be Sammy Sosa's color change himself. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Where he just became,
that's another color barrier that was broken.
He broke his own color barrier by changing color.
So, what are you going to be doing at the ballpark to commemorate this event?
We're having one of the Philadelphia Stars. For years before that color barrier was broken, of course, we had Negro League baseball.
Yes.
In fact, it actually lasted beyond 1947 into the early 50s. And unfortunately, most of the Negro League stars have passed away now. But Malin Duckett, one of the few who remain, will be with us tonight. We'll be saluting him.
How wild.
And acknowledging his great contribution to baseball.
I saw a while back, this kid took it upon himself, and Steve, he was like 16 years old. And he went down and has gone through and tracked down more of these Negro League players that got zero recognition than anybody else. And he's making sure that we know who these people were, that they were great athletes, that they supported the game and forwarded the game.
Put up with a ton of horrible treatment.
Yeah. It's a pretty amazing look back at the sport.
We talk about the movie Bingo Long and the Traveling All-Stars, which is of that time.
Of the Negro Leagues, yeah. All right, so, and that is, that's today at the game. I mean, obviously weather may be an issue, but maybe they'll postpone if things go south as far as the weather's concerned.
Do you have somewhere to be after this? I had an idea. If you got a couple of seconds,
Sure.
would you mind recording some ringtones for us?
Be happy.
Okay. All right, cool.
All right, when we're done with the interview?
When we're done with the interview.
Which I believe we are done with now. All right, so we'll remind everybody of all this stuff. We'll make sure we have links on PrestonandSteve.com for all of the things that the guys are talking about. And, of course, Homers for Hope is one of the big ones. And it's in June, so you got time to get your muscles all ready to go for that and get stretched out and make sure you do it safely. But grab the link, and it's for a great cause, and these guys always do a really cool event. So, John and Dan, we appreciate you coming by. Good luck with the event, and enjoy the season, Dan. Great to see you.